What is up, guys? Welcome back to Call Me Old Fashioned, where we talk everything bourbon, whiskey, and of course, old fashions. I know today's not our typical live stream day, so happy Saturday. Last night we had a little live stream, but today I went head over to St. Augustine Distillery. Me, the wife, the kid, we had some fun, picked up a couple bottles, and on the way home, I stopped by Golden Ox Liquors. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Golden Ox Liquors in St. Augustine off US 1. I wasn't even going to buy anything. I was just kind of taking a look. Decent selection. Got to say they have a decent selection. And I believe it was the owner. I was checking out some of their allocated stuff, and he's like, hey, pick this one up. I've seen this bottle a couple times. It's going to be the short barrel, the Bee's Knees version. It's a single barrel series, double barreled toasted straight bourbon whiskey finished in honey casks. So I've seen it before. When he recommended it to me, I was like, you know what? I need to pick it up. I need to test it out. I love me a good honey bourbon, but the question is going to be, how does it balance out, and is it worth the price tag for the most part? So let's go ahead and dive in. We'll kind of do a first impression. So you guys saw I got a little bar mat because I like to make a mess on the table, so that maybe help prevent all that. And then of course we got a new fresh little Glen from St. Augustine Distillery as well. I didn't know they actually sold Glens. I knew they had a version of their own, but I guess they figured out how to do it. So let's dive in to this bottle in particular. I don't have the mash bill or any of that kind of stuff, but we'll kind of dive in anyway. Now this has supposedly got a minimum of 6-year age in it. I don't know exactly. I know they do 6-year age, and then they also do it in the honey barrel. So I don't know how long in the honey barrel, but I'll figure all that stuff out when we do like the full review on it. But real cork, that's always a big plus to me. So anyway, hopefully you guys are having a good Saturday. Your football team didn't lose yet, or in general. And then obviously you got the Florida State game here in about an hour. So I'll be watching that one. My first thought was like, it's going to just punch you in the face with honey. It's sweet, but that's not the first note I get. The first note I get is actually like caramel. A little bit of spice, maybe some, I don't know, maybe apples, pears, something like that. You got a little something in there. But then obviously that honey comes through, but I was expecting it to just punch you in the face with the honey. It's not the case. It does have honey, obviously, but I was expecting it to be a lot more. So overall, not a ton of ethanol. What's the proof on this one again? It's 111 proof for this one in particular. I heard they range anywhere from like 105 up to 118. This one was 111, so I'm here for it. Anybody that wants to be super picky, it's going to be barrel H3015. So, yeah, cool looking bottle too. I'm a fan of that. Anyway, let's dive into the palate. Right, hopefully this is good, right? If it's not good, I'm gonna be pissed. Cranked up a whole little live stream just for this. I got some St. Augustine stuff too, not necessarily all bourbon, but we'll go through that here in a minute, what we picked up from there as well. That's hot. I had a lot more kick to it than I was expecting. Bro, it's like instantly like Honey Nut Cheerios though. The honey aspect to it, I got the stupid, Jack Daniel's honey or Jim honey, stuff like that. I was expecting this to be kind of like maybe an elevated version of that. This is way light years beyond that. This is way better. Those are like flavored, by the way. This is obviously just a finish. But it's more like a... How do you describe that? Like when you get a cough drop, right? The honey version is kind of put in your mouth. Kind of like that. Kind of like a little honey candy without like the medicine feel to it. Definitely the proof. That proof's there. At 111, usually like 111, it's there, but I'm not like, you ain't dying by any means. You can feel it. The finish on this is going to be super long. Not super long. Let's just call it long to be professional here. But overall, decent flavors there. I definitely get a little bit of that cinnamon bacon spice-esque to it as well. That might be from like the oak. I do get some of the oak, but it's kind of, I mean, the honey kind of overpowers that part. Just to kind of throw that out there. But I mean, I was expecting just a little bit more different flavors to kind of be picked up on, but you get caramel, a little dash of vanilla aspect to it, some cinnamon, some bacon spices, and then obviously just honey. If you're not a fan of honey, then this ain't for you, obviously. But if you like honey or honey finishes, so far this is a winner. I can't see with this little thing here. Mr. Mom in the chat says, cheers, everyone. Lopez in the chat says, what's up, ladies and gents? Fellas, welcome to the stream. Happy Saturday. Hopefully you guys are sipping on something good. And hopefully you guys are, bro, I literally was thinking about that right before I went live. I go, Lopez is going to pop in for sure on time. Pissed. Right at the gate. He says, you got me 2 days in a row. I did. I got you. But we're here for it. This bottle ranges anywhere from, it says go play the lottery. Give me the numbers. I'll go play. This bottle ranges though in price. That's the one thing that's kind of iffy on it. Like some stores with their single barrels, they'll have it out for like 75. Some will have it for like 100. So obviously you want to kind of keep an eye out for that. Don't pay too much for something like that. Their website, I can pull it up. I don't think they sell it on their website for the single barrels, but bro, it reminds me of Honey Nut Cheerios. Because it's got a little bit of that, like, not bread, but like it just kind of feels like cereal doused in some honey. So overall, that's a win. I'm glad I picked that up. I don't think it'd be something I would drink like all night. I think it'd be something I would kind of want to switch it up, grab a pour, maybe two, but nothing like, no serious pours. This, because it is sweet. I wish it came with like a nutritious or a nutrition form on here. It says, hey, this is how many calories are in this thing. Not that I care about the calories, but I wanted the sugar that is in this bad boy. It's got to be a lot. This thing's super sweet. I think if you got this in a lower proof, most people would hate it. I think if it doesn't have the proof, the sweetness would just beat you the hell up. So I think for the honey finish, being 111 proof, I think that that kind of sells it. You know, it keeps it stable. That's money, bro. I've seen a couple of the other ones. Like I've seen the rye from Short Barrel. I've seen the toasted. I haven't really picked them up. I've also seen like their straight bourbon whiskey. Again, nothing's ever really enticed me too much to go and pick it up, just because they are a little bit on the pricier side. But the bee's knees version here that I keep seeing everywhere, I was like, you know what? Next time I see it, we're gonna pick it up. So that's what kind of drove me to grab this bottle. And it's something different. I don't really have something like this per se on the shelf. And you guys know me, I want to have a little bit of variety on the shelf when it comes to stuff. Which kind of leads me into the next segment here of like, what else did I pick up from St. Augustine? I'm going to try and make some kind of video from the distillery. I was going to film. One was a little chaotic. I had the kids, so that was different. Lopez says, I got a sample of the bee's knees too. Which one is this? Is this 5? I think that's 5. I don't know ramen noodles like that. Lopez says, it's tasty, but definitely not one you can have all night long. I mean, I agree with that statement. I think it's good. It very much feels like a dessert bourbon here. Like honestly, if it wasn't so proofy, I bet you the wife would like it. I don't think she'd get back past the proof though. But it's got really good flavors. It's just sweet. So that's the only downside of that is like I would tap out quick. I'd want to switch it up, get some water, something like that. I don't know the name. It's some kind of, you know, a foreign name, but it says hi. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Happy Saturday. Lopez says sorry. Where's my manners? Cheers, Miss EH. That's funny. Let's see. Let me pull those over now. I'll probably have one more pour of this just to say we did it. It says, what's that taste like? Tastes like bourbon, tastes like honey. That's what kind of the whole live stream was just about so far. Just going over that bottle in particular. You can either scroll back or rewatch it later, but it's a honey finished bourbon. 6-year age. It tastes like honey. It's got some extra stuff to it too, don't get me wrong. It's got a little bit of caramel, a little bit of vanilla, some spices like cinnamon, maybe some baking spices, stuff like that. But it's very kind of one-dimensional, which is all just the sweet notes. That was kind of a fucked up way to say that. I didn't mean it like that. But so St. Augustine Distillery had some gift sets, discounted out for the holidays. So they had a pack with their vodka and their gin. Now, it also came with the Florida Straight Mule or the Florida Mule mixer. Well, I don't know what the fuck I was saying before. So you can make like a Moscow Mule, something like that. Typically, it goes with their vodka. Now, the one thing that's different with like St. Augustine stuff versus normal vodka is usually made with like potato or something along those lines. This is made with Florida sugarcane. Same thing with their gin. And then, of course, you have their own mixers. They have kind of one for every bottle they sell. They have the Mule, which is typically for their vodka. They got some citrus stuff for their gins. They got some weird rum stuff. I'm not that big into rums yet, but it's definitely got some different stuff. The wife likes this. But we had the samples that they were giving out today. They know how to make a mean cocktail, so I'm not a big fan of this kind of stuff in general. But if I had to choose one, I'd say this one has the best flavor. So as far as the vodkas and gins go. They're, I believe, a little pricey, though. But you can get the, what are these, 375s? Yeah, 2 375 milliliters plus the 17 ounces of their, mule mix for like, I don't know, it's 30% off, $60. I don't know what that is. 50, 45, $50, something like that. I thought it was a pretty good deal comparatively. Normally their bottles are fairly expensive, so. But they had different packages. They had bigger boxes. I recently got their a single barrel from the St. Augustine Distillery. We were talking about that yesterday. I have it right here. So it's their Florida Straight Bourbon, but it's a single barrel select from Shores Liquor, which is like 110 proof. I've never even seen one that high. Normally their bourbon's like 88 proof, 90 proof, something like that. Unless you're talking about their expensive one, which is the Saint, but that's like $200. And even then, that's only 115 proof. So I had this one at the house, so I kind of stayed away from. I stayed away from buying any of the bourbon there because I'm not the biggest fan of their port finish. They didn't have any of the gift sets with their toasted finish, or I probably would have got that. And I already have their old-fashioned cocktail mix, so I stayed away from it, and I just got the wife's stuff. I got a little Glen, I got a little bar mat, so got me some things, got her some things. Ride the Lightning in the chat says, "What's up? What's going on, bud? Welcome back." Lopez says, "I like cocktails, but can't be bothered to put in the effort to actually make them." I mean, Lopez, you kind of see how I do it. I like a lot of pre-mixed stuff. I like pre-mixed syrups because it's just one. I can just buy one thing and have to go buy 15, 20 different things. This one, like, this is obviously for vodka drinkers, but like, what's in this? Has cane sugar, ginger, lime, or ginger juice, lime juice, and cayenne pepper. It's good. I mean, I'm not a vodka drinker by any means, but mixing these two are pretty good. I'll have the wife come bring some ice in, and maybe I'll make a quick little cocktail with that. I'll make it for her anyway, but I can taste it. I can kind of give you guys a quick little rundown of it. But basically on the back here, it says, sit back, sip at home. It says 1 part St. Augustine Distillery vodka, 1 part mule mixer, 2 parts seltzer. And it makes this like, vodka mule, obviously. But It was like super light, super refreshing, a lot of citrus, some earthy notes to it. It was good. I don't even like vodka like that, but at the distillery, it was money. We'll go back and I'll go make like an actual video there. Probably won't bring the kid that time, but he was having fun though. We gave him a little bottle. He was chilling. But I'll make that here in a second. But Lopez, kind of what I was referring to is I buy like mixers like that, like the old fashioned premix, the mule premix, stuff like that, and it just allows me to speed up the process because I do like a good cocktail every once in a while. Whenever I'm just not in the mood to drink, drink it straight up. But I don't want to have to go buy 50 million things to make one drink. That's one thing I don't like doing. So the premixes, the cocktail syrup, stuff like that, it just kind of expedites the process. And I only have to have two things: the mix and the alcohol. I got the alcohol, don't worry. But this one also calls for seltzer, but we did already have that. This guy says, I'm Korean. Do you have any recommendations for drinks? I mean, it depends on if... No, I'll just make it in one of these. I don't know. I mean, I review bourbon and whiskey on here, so like if you're into that kind of stuff, then a shit ton of recommendations. Either that or like Dr. Pepper. I like Dr. Pepper too. I need the little thing. I can't. There's no way I can eyeball that. Lopez says, have you tried making your own pre-mixed old fashions? Yeah, like a freezer door old fashioned. Yeah, I used to have them in there all the time, but I don't currently have one in there. It's probably in like the dishwasher if I had to guess. I used to keep a freezer door old fashioned in the freezer all the time, but at the same time, like now, like usually when I'm making old fashions, I'm usually on a live, and that kind of defeats the purpose. So, yeah. Oh shit! Almost knocked that whole thing over there. I'd like to ask for recommendations for a sherry cast whiskey, please. Sherry cast, you're gonna want to go with the New Riff Kentucky Straight Malted Rye Whiskey. It's finished in a sherry barrel. It's barrel proof as well. I believe this bottle is like $55. What's the proof on this thing? Yeah, 111.5 proof. It's good. I'm not a big fan of sherry finishes, but no, why would I need that? What is that for? No, I just need something to measure it out so I don't like totally screw it up. I can't eyeball vodka. But yeah, the New Riff sherry finished is decent. If you wanted like a port finish and you had like some money to spend, a Midwinter's Night Dram is apparently really popular. I have it. I like wine and I like bourbon. I don't necessarily like them too much together. That's not really my cup of tea. I like to try them just because I like different expressions of whiskey and bourbon, stuff like that, but it's not my go-to by any means. All right, so we're basically doing like 1 part mule mix, 1 part vodka, 2 part seltzer. I have no idea. Well, fuck it. Let's do this. Make it easier. All right, let's put this up here. I'll get out of the way. All right, so we got the mule mix going. Should have pre-opened these, huh? Okay, St. Augustine, fuck with me. Now it's got synthetic corks. All right. It didn't really say what to garnish with it, but I mean, I just kind of figured, you know. I don't have like any of my stuff in here apparently. Hang on a second. Gotta have something right here, right? Nope, nothing. Well, oh well, it ain't gonna be mixed properly. It is what it is, guys. Mr. Mom says I do freeze the door cocktails in small batches. I use a 0.5 liter cold drink plastic bottles. It's not a bad way to do it. Like you could kind of make your own, have a little bit more than just a single drink, but then not like completely waste the whole bottle. I'm game for that. Mr. Mom says Texas tawny port finish is tasty, about 55, 60 bucks. Mr. Mom, you into the port finish? You like that kind of stuff? Let's see. Let's add some ice. They used like this like Sonic ice, bro. Oh fuck, bro. If I didn't catch that and the fucking seltzer blew everywhere, how funny would that have been? I'm just gonna top it. You gonna come give it a review?
Give me 1 second, your son.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
It's okay.
No, it's not the end of the world. All right, just to recap. It's gonna be 1 part mule mix, 1 part St. Augustine vodka, 2 parts seltzer. You can do flavored if you really want to. I would say if you were going to use a flavored, you want it to be a citrus. Let's go ahead and give this. I got so much shit up here. I hate clutter. Anyway, cheers. I'm better than the guy at the bar anyway. Probably need a little bit more vodka, but it tastes good.
It's good. Probably needs a little more vodka, yeah.
I would drink it as it is, and I can do the next one a little bit different. If I just start splashing it, then I'm gonna fuck it up.
No, this is fine.
It's not that. It's the honey finish that I just bought. Honestly, like if it wasn't as high a proof and you could taste it, you would like this one. But I think the proof would jack you up. It's 111. But it's what the fuck's flying in here? But it's good.
This is really good. I think it's better than the one they made at the bar because they put too much ginger in the other one.
Yeah, they put more of the mix because they obviously they know what they're doing. If they could save the vodka and use the mix, you know what I mean.
Hello, Tuxedo Cat. Yeah, it's good, babe.
Tuxedo, welcome to the stream, bud. Glad you can make it. A little fashionably late, but it's all right. All right. You want to take the seltzer out of here then?
You want me to take it all out, or you?
I'll get the other stuff.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for your services.
Make sure you close out your tab before you leave. Anyway, boys. So, honestly, it's super light, super refreshing. And I'm not even a big vodka guy. But that little mix there it's money. The only issue is it's a little pricey, comparably. Maybe you have your own cocktail. Bro, there's like a little gnat in here for some reason flying around. It's fucking with me. But honestly, I should have went back and because it was all on sale, I should have got the other, combos and stuff. Not the rum. I wasn't a big fan of the rum because it was like this coconut syrupy looking thing. Not a fan. But their gin and like tonic, that one was pretty good. But it wasn't like super Christmas tree-esque either. So obviously the important stuff was the bourbon. What was funny is the lady, She's like, we're gonna use their old-fashioned cocktail mix and their Florida straight bourbon. I was like, wow, my first time ever trying this. The fuck? She's like this. She starts like talking about it. I go, yeah, give me. It was good. I won't. I will say she did make it good, but it was super sweet. Definitely heavy on the mix. Mr. Mom says I buy pre-mixed whiskey sours and margarita mix. I mean, margarita mix. Yeah, I think anybody that's making homemade margaritas like that, they're a little insane anyway. The whiskey sours. You guys saw I had that Crown Royal whiskey sour. If you're just gonna cram like sour mix and seltzer and just shit like that on top of whiskey, I personally would rather buy a premix like that because it was a lot cheaper. The Crown Royal, you can get the big one for like 10 to 15 bucks. I think it's cheaper than that actually. And it was good enough. I wouldn't want to go buy like a fancier bottle and really put some money into it because you're just cramming shit on top. Even like the vodka, this one's kind of expensive. And if you're just mixing the two, you're kind of like wasting it. But I will say for the St. Augustine vodka stuff, it's made with sugar cane rather than like potatoes or something like that. So it has a different dynamic to it compared to the other stuff I've had. So that's why I would still recommend that. But enough vodka talk, guys. Let's get the vodka out of here. We got the wife a drink. She's poured up. She's ready to go for the game. We got the Florida Mule dialed in. So back to my dessert bourbon here. I'll finish this pour and I'll probably move to the St. Augustine stuff. Just because that's been like the drink of the weekend, so why not keep it going, you know? I missed one. Mr. Mom says, I do like port stuff, Redbreast 12. I didn't even know Redbreast 12 was a port finish. Irish whiskey finished in port, like a port barrel? I don't know. I don't think I would like that. Like, I understand a lot of people do like it. I don't know if that's up my alley. The issue with, you're a potato. Thanks, a potato. I am a fucking potato. Fuck, I don't give a fuck. I don't know, like, you guys know me, like with the 1792 full proof, small batch, bottled and bond, all that stuff. It's, that kind of leaves me with like a dry mouthfeel afterwards. I don't like drinking a drink and feeling thirsty afterwards. Port finishes, sherry finishes, like wine finishes in general, kind of leave me with that same kind of mouthfeel afterwards, just dry. But not like dry in like a unique way. It's like dry, like fuck, I'm thirsty. So I'm not a fan of it. So I'm not opposed to trying anything. I'm just saying, like, a lot of people are like, oh, you're gonna love this. I'm like, no, I'm not. So that's just me, though. That's why I recommended the New Rift sherry finished. It definitely had a little bit of, like, I don't know how to describe it. It was good. It had a little bit too much malt, though. You gotta like rye, you gotta like malts and sherry. So those three combined made it fairly tasty, though. Same thing with the Midwinter's Night Dram. Like, it's really good, and it has some unique qualities to it. But I'm not the biggest port finish, so I was like, I may have not been the perfect person for this bottle. And if you guys are local to St. Augustine or Jacksonville, there is bottles sitting all over the place right now. The Midwinter's Night Dram, the Part 12, right? Is that what it is? Or Act 12? Yeah, Act 12. Act 12 seen something. So they're sitting damn near everywhere right now for like 180 to 200 bucks, depending. Yeah, like 170 to 200 bucks in that range. So, but, oh, I missed one, I guess. Tuck says, well, I am baked, so what is that, like saying like you're high? Or just a baked potato? Miss Mom says, I buy $4 to $5 bottles of mixer and usually use 20 to 30 worth of bourbon. Redbreast makes a sherry cast and a PX sherry cast finished. Just got a bottle of, it's moving all weird on me. Got a bottle of Same Old Moses Amaron finish rye. I've never heard of that one, but obviously the red breast. Yeah, so like for the, I don't know, when I do a freezer door old fashioned, I'm typically gonna buy, I'll buy like one of these, right? And it's usually the spiced cherry of Woodford's, which is like $10. I'll get usually like a pre-made simple syrup just because I'm fucking lazy. And then and I'm gonna get usually a cheaper bourbon. I kind of like Bullet for these scenarios because Bullet is not bad price. It's also good for old fashions. Either that, what's the other one I made? I'll tell you what else I saw at that store here in a second too, because you guys will be disappointed. Or the Russell's 10, the 10-year, because I can usually find that fairly cheap as well. But usually I'll kind of like pour out a couple pours just to make room. And then I'll just basically use the whole bottles of those things. Not the simple syrup, but dump them in there, shake it up, send it on its way. Throw it in the freezer door. But the downside of doing that is, you know, it's all in use now. It's all old fashioned. You can't change it up and have a pour later on. So that's why I like to use things that are not super expensive. That, and I want something that I'm also like, if somebody came over that doesn't appreciate an old fashioned as much as I would, that it's good enough, but also not, like, I'm not going to cry if they're like, oh, this is horrible. And I'm like, oh shit, that was, you know, E.H. Taylor, single barrel. You know what I mean? So. This drink I'm looking at isn't available in Korea, so now I'm really curious about how it tastes. This one? This one, it's a single barrel, so it's, honestly, it's hard to kind of get here too. So a lot of like bourbon, especially like coming out of Kentucky, it's, some stuff is hard to get. But if you like honey, you know, if you like whiskey and you like honey in general, this is definitely the best honey finished one that I've had. It is sweet. It's very much the dessert-esque, so I can't have like a bunch of it, but it's good. Mr. Mom says, Old Forester Rye or Wild Turkey 101 Rye are good. I've never had the Old Forester Rye. I just figured that out the other day. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? It says, BRB, phone call. Hey, tell them we said hi. So at the St. Augustine Distillery upstairs, they have a bar, right? And on top of the bar, they have some allocated stuff, right? They have like Woodford's Double Oak that's fairly easy to get. They got the Knob Creek. They got some Buffalo Trace. They obviously have all of their bourbon and whiskey that you can make drinks with and whatever. But they did have the 2024, I believe, Old Forester birthday bourbon. I almost bought a pour. 2 ounces would have been $60. 1 ounce or 1 ounce for $30. I figured if I was going to get it, I need to have 2 ounces. You know what I mean? I don't know if I could really justify paying $30 an ounce because I'm not a 12-year-old rich kid in a bad neighborhood. You know what I mean? So that's funny. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But I almost got it because I do want to try that. But I think maybe next time we go to the distillery and I'm like actually filming and I have the mics and stuff like that, we'll do that. And then that way we can kind of chat about it as well. Because I don't imagine I'm ever going to be able to buy that bottle because I'm nowhere near balling like that. But I think that'd be a cool way to try it out. So their distillery, if you've never went to St. Augustine, it's really nice. We obviously did the free tour. We just kind of walk in, they give you a wristband once they check you're 21, and you just kind of walk through yourself. So we got to walk by all the barrels. Kind of teaches a little bit about bourbon. It shows you the grains. It shows you how things work, the bottling station, stuff like that. And they're more kind of like herding you towards the gift shop. So their gift shop's dope, though. They got everything in there. You know, different types of whiskey glasses, knickknacks, ton of stuff you want to buy, but also a little bit overpriced. But I will say anything with their logo on it, like this blend or the bar mat, it's fairly cheap. And I think they kind of figured out like, hey, that's free marketing. let's just give it to them either at cost or slightly above. Because this was like 15, 20 bucks for the bar mat. The Glen was like 10 bucks. So I was pumped on those. He says, you describe whiskey so well, I really want to try. Haha, I can't see the emoji, so it just says, ha, blue face, ha, smiling face, blue smile. So I don't know what that means. I can't see. What if I do this? I wonder if it will show it. No. See what I mean? It just shows me weird stuff. But I appreciate it. I just try to give you guys my experience with it. I'm not the best at tasting whiskey, but I will say, like, let's do one more little pour. One more. I think I can fit it in because ooh, what a pop though. It's unique. I just spilled some. That's on me. Good thing I got a bar mat. Just saying, right? So for it being a double toasted, Gabe in the chat says, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. I can't remember what song I was going for there. For it being a double toasted, I don't know if I get that, right? I think you get some oak in there, right? But it's nowhere near to like a double oaked. It's one of the reasons why I got it, because I was figuring if it did feel like a double oak, I could put it in my double oak blind. Obviously, I'd know what it was from the honey, but it'd be kind of like a cool little additive. But double barrel toasted, 111 proof, single barrel series. Everybody does kind of freak out about single barrels. So if you guys are local to St. Augustine or Jacksonville, Florida, Golden Ox Liquors off of US 1 in St. Augustine had a pretty good selection. They had some allocated stuff. They had some stuff that was overpriced. I almost bought one of their Buffalo Trace kosher ryes. I just didn't want to spend the money on it. But they had a lot of cool stuff. They had some Nulu too. It was a Nulu double oak, not wheated like I have, but just a Nulu double oak. I almost bought that, but it was like $100. And I have one that's really good, so I just didn't want to double up in a sense. No? All right, cool. All right, hold on. I'll give myself. Stop. It's fine. No. I was gonna buy it, but I kind of want to find a couple different expressions of the Nulu, just because I still think that bottle's in the running for bourbon of the year right now for me. The double oak wheated, so I think it'd be cool to get something else from them. But the short barrel, just this one, obviously the honey is probably like a one-off type of thing. But for this one being so good, I'll probably keep my eye out on them as well, saying, hey, like, if something else comes across that it looks decent from them, maybe I pick it up. So. My button came undone, that's why. Oh, shit. Just put it up here. There we go. Got our technical team on it. Sorry, boys. Anyways, so what are you guys drinking on? You guys doing anything tonight? You watching the game here in like 20 minutes or so, or what are we doing? Let me check one thing real quick. Make sure I'm right on the time. Anyways, so I'm going to throw out ideas. You guys let me know. Obviously, I'm going to end the stream here in a few minutes, not like this second, but soon. And I'm going to go watch that Florida FSU game and probably go have some dinner as well. Once the kid's asleep, maybe I'll pop back on. We'll do a little late night pour. Maybe. That's still up in the air. If I do you guys want me to do a call-in show where you guys call in, we can talk bourbon, whiskey, all that stuff? Or are you guys like, hey, I still want to hide behind the camera or behind the keyboard? Tuck says, I got some of that 2024 Shanks Sour Mash bourbon. Okay, what's your thoughts? So I don't have a name for you because I can't. Ho ho. All right, fuck it. That's what I see. So that's what we're rolling with. I see ho ho. So I'm calling you ho ho, even if you don't like it. So ho ho asks, what snack or food pairing or food pairs well with bourbon and whiskey? Is it because I'm fat? That's why we asking that question. So for me, pizza. I know that's like a typical fat kid answer. I love having a good slice of pizza after a couple drinks. Don't know why, but obviously, if you want the proper answer, a good ribeye, baked potato, some asparagus. Sure, like that's basic. But red meat and whiskey go together, like country does in the South. If you're looking for snack options, depends on how fancy you want to get. You want a little charcuterie board, a little pepperoni, salami, maybe some, capicola, some cheeses. It's always a good time right there. A nice, good-looking charcuterie board and some whiskey. I'm here for that. But the typical answer is going to be like steak, ribeye, Just depends on exactly what kind of, food or drink you're having. I believe you were the one that mentioned the sherry finished. A sherry finished bourbon or port finished bourbon with a good steak. Even I'm on board for that one, so. Tug says, I'm not ready for the call-ins tonight. Let's do another regular live. Also, Shanks is between okay and yummy, maybe like a 7.8. Tux, this is my issue. You say, I'm not ready for the call-in show. But then you throw out a professional-ass rating like a 7.8. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Don't come in here and be like, here's my professional score, but I'm not ready yet. I'm not there. We're not waiting for you to hit the Jenny Craig diet, bro. Let's just run it. Okay, I will say one thing about this bottle in particular. It is sweet, right? This is a negative that I'm about to say. The bourbon is good itself, so take everything that I've said to this point. That was professional stuff. This is me being like a little OCD and not like I nitpick shit. This is a brand new Glen, right? It's got the little St. Augustine logo on it. Never seen before on this channel, but I like it. The only bourbon that's been in this glass is this one. My whole glass is sticky on the outside, which then make my fingers sticky. I'm not a fan of that. I like my shit to be nice and clean. Maybe I spilt it a little bit, but if it's that sticky, you know what I mean? I get it. Honey, whatever, but it's that's a big con to me if my glass is going to be gross afterwards, because it looks like it needs a hot bath, So we got about 15 minutes till the game starts. Let's have one final pour, and then we'll end it for now. All right, let's do the St. Augustine's just because I'm going to have to go pick up another bottle of this. The single barrel, though. What sucked is at the distillery, they didn't have any of the single barrel selects. And if it was me, right, I get you want to sell your Florida Straight bourbon. I get you want to sell the Saint. And there is a big price difference and proof difference in those. But this, what people fail to understand, especially distilleries, is even a bourbon and Suvius, I don't want to spend $200. I get it. It's got some fancy shit to it. If you give me this bottle, though, I buy two. I pick it up. I actually buy it. But I'm not buying the 88 proof. And I'm not spending $200 on one bottle. But if you say, hey, this was $55, even mark it up there. Put it at $75. I still would have bought it. Just to have an extra and to say I bought a bourbon when I went to the distillery. I went to the whole distillery, drank all types of shit, didn't buy any bourbon. I went to a liquor store afterwards and bought bourbon. Here, let's swap it out. So that's my only gripe. They should pick their own single barrel and sell it saying, hey, it's a distillery pick. Tuck says, LOL, it's not Jenny Craig, it's Weight Watchers. I get it. Mr. Miyagi back in the chat says, having some Penelope for the first time. Very nice. All right. Mr. Miyagi, which Penelope? Is it Architect? The 15-year? Are we just doing like a cast strength? What are we working with? If I had to guess, you have Architect. The Architect is the only one that I've really been like, this is money. Compliments of Tuxedo Cat, Mr. Penelope itself. I have the Toasted. I went back to it a few times off stream. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Like, I want to like it. I feel like that's part of the issue. Is I want it to be good. And it's good, but I'm like OCD and nitpicking these things. So the Toasted is just too campfire feeling for me. It kind of overpowers a lot of things. You got to really hunt for the notes. And when I'm not on camera and I'm not, nerding out with friends, when I'm just sitting back hanging out, I don't want to hunt for the notes. I want it to be there. That's the only reason I go and pick that up. If I was at a campfire, by far, I'm picking that bottle up. But I'm not popping out a campfire every blue moon, So, you know what? That sounds like a good fucking idea. I'm going to eat dinner. I'm going to go sit by the fire. We have a little fire pit in the neighborhood, so maybe I bring a little cigar. Watch me dial up a good time. He says, just a standard Penelope, $29.99 on sale. First off, that's an amazing price. Second, I don't think I've actually had the standard Penelope. I'm fucking up? Am I fucking up? Tuxedo, is that should I have that bottle? If I see it for $30, I would pick it up. Tuxedo says, hell yeah, Penelope 4-grain rules. That shit rocks as a whiskey sour. I get it for $30. I guess I am fucking up. I feel like I want somebody from the channel to come bourbon hunting with me in Florida and to see the struggle I have to go through to find good whiskey. They'd be mind blown what they can find on sale. Like, people freak out when I find Russell's 10 for $30. They're like, how do you get that? And I'm like, it's just right there. But a lot of this more unique stuff is not out there like that. So, if anybody ever comes to Florida, let me know. We'll go bourbon hunting. I will be in North Carolina, Kentucky coming up, technically next month, but in December, mid-month for Christmas. So the issue is I'm not going to be far enough north to really go to the distilleries unless I make it. And I don't know if I really want to make it because I'm going to have the kid first time traveling. I don't know if I want to do all that yet. So we have 10 minutes till kickoff, boys. I think we're going to start winding it down now. So he says my username is May. Fuck, I don't know, bro. I'm like the worst at. I'm like dyslexic as hell. Can I just call you Ho Ho? Can that just be your nickname? Because the symbols look like Ho Ho. Obviously, I know it's not. Don't get me don't be offended. I don't know. But you guys can see it, right? Let me make it bigger. Can I make it bigger? God damn it. I can't make it bigger, but you guys can see it. It says Ho Ho. You know what I mean? Tuck says, I always say, always buy everything Penelope. Tux, I saw Valencia, the Penelope Valencia at the Golden Ox that I picked up that Bee's Knees at. It was for secondary though, so I didn't buy it, but I came close. Right now with my Liz says I'm dyslexic. Damn, babe. You're just gonna call me out mid-text, mid-stream like that? That's fucked up. Oh, she says it's O-O, not ho-ho. Whatever. I like saying ho-ho. It's fucking Christmas, boys. Dial it in. Hey, old fashioned, good to see you on Turkey Leftovers Day number 2. That's a good way of putting that. How's it pouring tonight, buddy? It's pouring. Um, we had a good Thanksgiving. Dialed in some old fashions for Thanksgiving. Obviously, you guys know. But yeah, no, we had a good time. We cooked turkey. The kid had his first time eating Thanksgiving. He was not a fan. He was pissed. He told the chef to get the fuck out of the house. Black Friday, we went and we did some stuff, right? You guys saw the live stream last night. We poured up a few different things, but overall had a good Black Friday. Today we went to the St. Augustine Distillery, had some samples for free. Always a big win there. Picked up a bottle of the Short Barrel Bee's Knees number 5, 111 proof. If you guys really want to see the review on that, just either scroll back or wait for this stream to end. It's at the beginning, but it's good. So definitely a pickup for me. Now I'm finishing off this live stream with the St. Augustine Distillery's Single Barrel Select 110 proof money stuff, but it's not sold at the distillery. This is a Shores liquor pick from Jacksonville. But how was your Thanksgiving? Was it good? Did you eat some turkey? Are you even a turkey guy? Because a lot of people apparently, they're ribeyes, ribs, all types of shit. Apparently I'm weird and I like turkey. Tuxedo says Valencia is yummy. Definitely. I mean, I get it. I know it's good, but that's why it's secondary too, so. I need to know what that, maybe it is the marshmallow aspect to the St. Augustine. Is this what I smell? I've never actually checked the legs out on this thing, bro. That shit looked oily as hell. It is crazy oily in this thing, though. I mean, it's money, so don't get me wrong. For 110 proof, coming in under right around 50 bucks. For a single barrel, some of the better stuff. You just gotta like the St. Augustine bourbon. If you don't, then we're not even in the same conversation. So, but it definitely, I was thinking about it last night after the stream. A lot of people call me out for saying, oh, marshmallow. Like, how do you get marshmallow in whiskey? Sometimes just, and I'm surprised I even have to say this at this point, but tasting notes, it's not really marshmallow in there. It's not really caramel. There's not really vanilla in there. It's the wood is putting these flavors into that whiskey, and it just kind of triggers your brain, your palate to trigger that tasting note. To say, hey, it reminds me of marshmallow, it reminds me of caramel, it reminds me of vanilla. You know what I mean? A lot of people have had vanilla, a lot of people have had caramel. When somebody says dates, raisins, you know, if you've never had a date, it's not going to trigger a date flavor profile for you. So, BTK says, I had turkey. Hell yeah. When I go to my brother's for Thanksgiving next year, I'm going to cold smoke a turkey for about 4 hours and deep fry it. That's the plan anyway. So I didn't get the invite. My bad. So where are we doing this at? Because that fucking sounds bomb. A little cold smoked turkey, then deep frying it. You're gonna get the flavors of a smoked, but also the crispiness of the deep fry. If you butter inject that thing, I may fucking show up, bro. What's up? Little Cajun butter injections? Are we doing that? I'm being too picky? That sounds delicious. I would love to deep fry turkey. I'll burn the entire neighborhood down if I even attempted to deep fry a turkey, by the way. Well, the way we do Thanksgiving is we usually go to like one of the wife's family members' house in the morning to afternoon. We have a couple cocktails, a couple drinks, and then we snack on Thanksgiving. I don't go all in because I got my own coming, right? Then by like midday, I start cooking, right? And we start cooking up everything. But we don't eat till like 7, 8 o'clock at night, and that's when we go in. Tuck says inject it like Botox. Bro, this year I injected my turkey with a little Cajun butter, but then also a Cajun butter that was, it somehow had applewood smoking flavor in it as well. And it was good, but it was super overpowering because I put a good amount in it. But that applewood gave it this different kind of dynamic to it. And I was like, that's money stuff right there. My turkeys like to scream as it squirts out at me, so my turkey's always on point. BTK says, Memphis, brother, and yeah, got that Cajun butter inject. Turkey to fry it, you must increase the bust. What's up, bro? What's up? What's up? We going to Memphis? We'll get a little deep fried turkey, hit a Grizzlies game maybe. I don't know. I'm not gonna go to a Titans game for sure, but that sounds delectable. So anyway, boys, we've been on here for about an hour. I kind of hit my mark that I wanted to get to. Just to kind of give you guys a quick rundown, we're going to go watch the Florida FSU game, going to have some dinner, maybe go sit by a fire, and then we're going to come back on later on tonight, hopefully. If you guys want to hang out, have some drinks with me, feel free to stop by. If not, then I will see you guys next Friday. But let me cue some music up. You want Christmas music? I got Christmas music on cue here, boys. Go to the Vandy game. No, bro. It's Florida FSU game. Tuck says, boo. Hey, guys, I'd love to stay live, but I do have to eat. And I got to get the kids to sleep. Bro, last night, the kid did not want to go down. We were at war. I'm surprised I still have a beer because he was ripping that thing out. I got that sound pumping right now, too. Anyway, boys, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all that jazz. Of course, we're on the road to 2,000. Hopefully by the end of the year. Probably not going to hit it, but I want to. So I'm going to keep saying it. FSU is a bunch of frauds. Tuxedo, that's EH's team. She's an FSU fan. I'm not. So I'll tell her you said that, though. But, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and I will see you later tonight. Peace. Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time.